So hey guys, what's up? This is Subham Kumar Agrawal and welcome to my YouTube channel. So today we are going to start the vibrational partition function. Alright, vibrational partition function we had done with the rotational partition function. Okay, so we know the generalized formula for the partition function is this: Q equals to summation of Gi e raised to the power minus beta ei. Alright, so for the vibrational this energy will becomes E vibrational. This energy will becomes now E vibrational. So we have just substituted E vibrational, and we know that E vibrational is equals to N plus half into h nu, where Nv it is the vibrational quantum number. Alright, it is all which we had done in the physical spectroscopy. Alright, okay, so vibrational quantum number. Alright, now as we all know that this is the energy for the 1D SHO, 1D simple harmonic oscillator, which was the ideal case, and for the one dimensional you have to just know, and you need to just be aware of this thing. Alright, that it is for the 1D SHO. Okay, now as you know that Nv, which is the vibrational quantum number, its value vary from 0, 1, 2, 3 to infinite. Alright, this is the vibrational quantum number. So value for the vibrational quantum number vary from the 0 to infinite. So we can say, if we will put Nv equals to 0, then we will get some energy value, that is half h nu. That means if this is the value which we are getting when we are substituting the Nv as 0, that means we are getting this energy for the ground state, because Nv equals to 0 depicts or indicates like it is the ground state. Alright, so as we had already done that, there would be the two possibility, like the energy of the ground state may be 0 and may not be 0. So we will deal both of the cases in different perspective. Alright, so let's start. So the first case that is given to you is with 0 point energy, that is WZPE, with 0 point energy. So I had just here written down energy levels. You can see 0, 1, 2, 3, 4 and corresponding energies. So you will get these energies by substituting the value of Nv in the energy expression which I had told just now. The energy expression is equals to Nv plus half and bracket and h nu. Alright, this was the energy expression. So you just need to put the Nv values, that is the vibrational quantum number values, and you will get corresponding energies. Alright, so this is what we had calculated. Okay, so you can get one thing. So here you can see like the energy difference between the two energy levels. When you subtract the energies of the consecutive two energy levels, then you will get h nu. You will get h nu. You can do it in any of the two energy levels, you will get h nu. That means the difference between the two energy levels will be of the order h nu. Alright, so this is what you will get when you will subtract the two consecutive energy levels. Alright, now we are now the second thing is without 0 point energy. System having without 0 point energy, it means energy of the ground state would be 0. Okay, so here I had shown it. Okay, so yes, so you have to just do one thing, that in the system having 0 point energy you have to just subtract by h nu. You have to just subtract by h nu in each of the corresponding energy levels, and you will get the energy of the ground state as 0. Here you can see you will get the energy of the ground state as 0 because we had subtracted by h nu in the ground state of the system having 0 point energy. So that because the energy of the ground state in the previous system was half h nu, and if we subtract this amount of energy from the ground state, then we will get 0. So this is what we have done. Alright, and here also when you will subtract half h nu from each of the energy levels, you will get these values like h nu, 2 h nu, 3 h nu, 4 h nu. And in this case also you can see like the difference between the two energy levels here is also, that is h nu. Here is the same, the energy difference between the two energy levels, that is h nu, or here also. Alright, because in the system with 0 point energy, there we had seen that the energy difference was h nu, and in the system having not 0 point energy, also the difference between the energy levels is h nu. Alright, so in order to find out the generalized expression for this system, what we have to do, we have to just subtract the half h nu from the energy level, from the energy expression for this system having 0 point energy. So we get energy value for the system without 0 point energy, WOZPE. For the WOZPE system, we get the energy as NV h nu. Alright, this is a generalized expression. Alright, now as we already know that if you have the partition function of without 0 point energy, then you can directly calculate the partition function with 0 point energy by using this expression. Because this expression relates with the two systems, one without 0 point energy and other with 0 point energy. So if there is something that you have to relate both of the system, then at that point of time you will use this formula or this expression. Alright, okay, so here E naught is the energy of the ground state in system with 0 point energy, because when we had derived it from the formula, then it is the value of the system having 0 point energy. Alright, okay, now we know that the degeneracy in 1D system, as we know that in the vibrational states in the one dimensional SHO, the degeneracy was 1, and we are doing the same, that we are dealing with the 1D SHO where the degeneracy of the energy states is 1, Alright, now we are going to find out, look, one more thing, if in order to find out the QWJPE partition function of with 0 point energy, if we have the partition function for without 0 point energy, then we can automatically directly get the partition function having with 0 point energy by using this expression. We can find out the QWZPE with the help of QWOZPE. So we need not to go with both of the partition function. Alright, if we will be able to calculate the partition function of without 0 point energy, then we can, by using this expression, we can find out the QWZPE. So here we have a focus now only on QWOZPE, that is the system without 0 point energy. That means the system having the ground state which has 0 energy, having 0 energy. Alright, so just here we go. Okay, so without 0 point energy, we had just put here, we will going to put the energy ENV in the expression Q vibrational. In this expression we will going to put ENV as NH nu, NV h nu. NV is the vibrational quantum number, and h nu, this was the energy that we had calculated for the system without 0 point energy. So here we will put that energy value. Alright, now you can see here that we have just put the ENV value here, and we get this expression. Okay, now moving onwards here, as here what is written, try to understand, like e raised to the power minus 2x, so you can write it as e to the power minus x whole power 2. You can write it Okay, now what is written here? Here I had just taken the NV in the power term, as like here here in the exponential function we had taken e raised to the power minus 2x as 2 in the power of the e raised to the power minus x. So in the same way here I had also taken NV in the power of the exponential term. Okay, now if we will put the this summation value as ranging from NV equals to 0 to infinite, if we will put the vibrational quantum number value ranging from 0 to infinite, we will get this expression. Like 1 plus e raised to the power minus beta h nu and so on. Alright, we have to just put the NV values, and in the power, in the whole power, it is NV. So 1, 2, 3, 4 and so on. Okay, and from the Taylor series or the Maclaurin expansion, mainly Maclaurin expansion, we know that if we have the system like 1 minus x raised to the power minus 1, then the expression expands in the way like we get 1 plus x square plus x cube and so on. Alright, so if here x equals to e raised to the power minus beta h nu, so this expansion, in this expansion, if we have a x like e raised to the power minus beta h nu, so this expansion has the value as 1 minus x raised to the power minus 1. Here the expansion value is 1 minus x raised to the power minus 1, and when we put x value as e raised to the power minus beta h nu, we get here 1 minus e raised to the power beta h nu raised to the power minus 1. So what we had done so far, if we will put x equals to e raised to the power minus beta h nu, we will get this expression. We will get this above expression. What is 1 plus e raised to the power minus beta h nu and raised to the power 1, 2, 3 and so on. So this expression we will get when we will put x equals to e raised to the power minus beta h nu, and the expansion has the value 1 minus x raised to the power minus 1, and we will put the value of the x as e raised to the power minus beta h nu. We will get like 1 minus e raised to the power minus beta h nu whole power minus 1. Okay, so when we will take in a denominator the minus 1 power, then we will get this energy expression. Alright, that is the Q vibrational without 0 point energy. You have to memorized it, remembered it, like we had done all these expression by assuming the ground state energy 0. Alright, so this is the system. This is valid only for the system having 0 ground state energy. Alright, so this is important one, because by using it you can also find out the Q vibrational for the system having 0 point energy. Having the 0 point energy, how? By using the formula or the expression that I had told in the starting, in the initial, in the beginning, what I had told, the expression that relates the both of the system. By using that expression you can find out the partition function for the system with 0 point energy. Alright. Okay, now if we have to write this expression in the form of theta v, what I had told you, I think I didn't told you. Okay, so first let's understand and try to understand the theta v. Theta v is the characteristic vibrational temperature. It is in the same context which we earlier used in the characteristic rotational temperature. That was the theta r, and that was theta r, and it was like it would be equal to the b. All right. No, sorry. In that context we had used that energy gap like in the form of B equals to thermal energy equals to multiple of B. Alright, thermal energy equals to energy gap of the like in the multiple of B. But in this case, in the characteristic vibrational temperature, we have the energy gap is the same context. In the same context here, just the thing changed is the like energy gap equals to thermal energy. This was the old concept that we had already done, but the difference occurs the energy gap value. At the rotational, when we had done with the rotational, then the energy gap was in the order of B, है ना, was in the order of B, rotational constant, but we are doing the vibrational states. There the energy difference is the fixed value, that is h nu. The energy difference between the two states is having the fixed value, that is the h nu. So in the characteristic vibrational temperature, we know that the energy it is defined as that the energy gap equals to thermal energy, when energy gap, that is h nu, equals to thermal energy. Thermal energy, I had told you, that is the kBt. So this temperature will becomes theta r, the temperature which is in the kBt, and when this kBt will be equal to h nu, when this kBt will be equal to the h nu, then this temperature will becomes theta r, that is the theta v, that is the characteristic vibrational temperature, that is the characteristic vibrational temperature. So we, by doing just some simple mathematics, we had reached to this final expression, that is the theta v equals to h nu upon kb. Alright, now this nu, that is the frequency. So in the vibrational context, this frequency is the frequency of the oscillation between the atoms. This is the frequency oscillation of the stretching mode. This is the new stretching that we usually do in the vibrational spectroscopy. When we do, then we use, and when we derive this expression like nu is equals to 1 upon 2 pi under root k upon nu. Alright, so there k would be the force constant, nu would be the reduced mass, and this reduced mass is something like when we having the diatomic molecule like HCl, H2D2, NaCl, like this molecule. Otherwise this nu becomes m when we have atoms. When we will dealing with the atoms, then this nu will become m. Alright, so this is the thing that we had done in the vibrational spectroscopy, and that from there we had just taken this formula, that is the new frequency. This is the stretching frequency, and here it has some use like when we were dealing with the characteristic vibrational temperature, we will put that new frequency, that is the value here is given to you. Alright, now here you can see like when you will put these values, this new value, frequency value, in the this above expression, then what you will get this theta v equals to h upon kb 2 pi under root k upon nu. Alright, so here you can see all the terms are constant except the value which are inside of the root. Except the value which are inside of the root, all the rest values are constant. So here we can conclude like theta v, that is the characteristic vibrational temperature, is proportional to k upon nu, because these two things are variable which depends upon the molecule to molecule. So we can say that the characteristic vibrational temperature, which is the temperature which needs that amount of energy to reach from the ground state to excited state. Alright, because that is the energy difference h nu. So to accomplish the energy difference h nu, the temperature required is the characteristic vibrational temperature, and this characteristic vibrational temperature is directly proportional to under root of k upon nu. K is the force constant, that is if for a molecule HCl, then how much strong the HCl bond is, that defines the k, that is the force constant, and upon nu is that the reduced mass. When we will reduce, the formula of the reduced mass is m1 m2 upon m1 plus m2. So in case of HCl, m1 is the mass of the hydrogen and m2 will be the mass of the chlorine. So for the HCl you will take like the nu, that is the reduced mass, and you will determine reduced mass in this way. So finally you will reach to the characteristic vibrational temperature in this way. Alright, so I think this is all for today. Now I am going to give you one question for homework, and I will give the solution of this question in the next video. Alright, so what is the question? The question is you have to find out the characteristic vibrational temperature ratio for the hydrogen and for the deuterium molecule. For the hydrogen versus for the deuterium molecule, you have to actually find out the ratio. You have to actually find out the ratio, and what is given to you, what will be given to you, that the K value, K, that is the force constant value for H2 and D2, that is the D2 deuterium, are same. The K value are same for both H2 and D2, and the variable thing is the nu, that is the reduced mass. So you have to actually find out the ratio, and the answer I am telling, the answer is the C, that is the root 2. Answer is C, that is the root 2, and you have to just find out the ratio, and you have to just solve it by your own. And when I will give you the solution in the next video, then you have to match it whether you are going in a right way or not. So I think that's all for today. We'll meet in the next video. So see you, have a good day. Bye bye.